Hello, beautiful people. How you doing? I've been joined. I've been joined by the Admiral. Come up for his obligatory neck scritches. I hope you all are doing very well. Hit the like button. Share this live. It's good to see you. I think it's been like a week. Feels like forever. It feels like forever. I got to do a show. Okay? I'm trying to squeeze in a quickie. All right. Hello, beautiful people. How you doing? Hit the like button and share the live. It's good to see you. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Shout out to the silent looters who don't chat, but we know you there. We see you. We see you in the numbers. We appreciate you. Princey, the people say meow meow. Get out of there. See you hit your head. Goofy boy. Shout out to all the members and the subscribers here and all the places. I have no idea what you're talking about, beloved. Oh, wait, not you. Hi, and everyone. You amended. I see what you did there. Very witty. I don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna have to, huh? Is my response to that. Huh? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Petty Tendergrass, hello. Kim Tillman, hello. Demetrius, hello. Furry Bee Productions, hello. Why you change your profile picture? Flag on the play. King Link, hello. Stormiest of clouds, hello. Abe Brown, hello. Spooky Ariel, hello. Kenvia, hello. Meet the Bug, how you doing? If I do say so myself, the branding was with the feminine demographic. Why you got me starting this off in trouble? Dang. Hello. Good to see you. Oh, okay. I got it this time. I got it. I know you're like, Bish, I was quite clear. The live where you talked about the like that suit being dismissed is missing from your page. No, it's not. It's not missing from my page. It's on the membership level. I speak the truth, Furry Bee Productions. This is all I do here is I speak the truth. Your branding was just fine with the female demographic. Thank you very much. Clip this as an advertisement. Do not be cool. Oh, maybe I did something wrong. Oh, I did. Look at that. That's bizarre. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I have fixed the problem. It is available at the membership level. It was not. I'm trying to figure out if I did that intentionally for some reason. And I can't think of one. So get it in while you can. See, furry bee, see what you done started? The folks got questions. Is that bee shaped like a man or does that man's head have wings? Oh no. Oh no, I don't have my glasses on. So I didn't even notice that. All I looked at was that ain't him. Oh, baby, it's also not related to the actual murder. So don't get ahead of the host. Okay? Don't do that. That's annoying. Don't do this. Don't do that. You'll get booted out of here expeditiously. Anyway, Furry Bee Production says, take it how you see it. Take it how you see it. However you see it, that's how you see it. Take it how you see it. It's up to the interpretation of the audience. Princey, knock it off. You have food. You ate all day. Be quiet. Goodness gracious almighty. All right. Man-shaped bee. And we are not. No, unfortunately, we're talking about murder. That's what we're here to talk about. Oh, boo. We're here to talk about murder. A grand jury has been convened in the death of Celeste. So here's what we know. We know that David's touring manager was subpoenaed and testified at length. At length. And is feeling the pressure of having to testify to what he did and did not do with regard to this situation. The specific don't necessarily know, but we know that he's stressed out. And we know that another witness who was supposed to appear did not and is going to be arrested if the judge says, yes, you can go ahead and arrest that person and force them to come before the grand jury. So the big takeaway is a grand jury is convened. So clearly they have developed evidence to charge somebody or somebodies with something related to the death of this child. She was a child. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you. That's all I got. This actually, in terms of the timing in my mind, has gone pretty much how I thought it would go. Um, I know that people were really exacerbated and, why obviously this and why haven't they that? And I gotta say, that it's really annoying and unnecessary. And people just willingly void themselves of their own reasonable intelligence, right? Um, Finding a body in somebody's vehicle is not evidence that that person killed them. It's evidence that their body is in that person's vehicle. Finding evidence that a body has been tampered with or partially dismembered is also not evidence that a particular person killed that person. Those are separate things. Those are separate things. So in my mind, this was going to come between Thanksgiving and the New Year, or a year from now, or 5 years from now, or a long time and maybe another death to help get to that point. If he did it, let's just say if he did it, we don't know what evidence they have developed. The last we heard, which is not definitive because, again, we don't know what has been developed since then, but the last we heard, according to the coroner, we did not know how she died. They were not able to develop that. So they would have to develop that from other people telling them or other evidence pointing to how she died. And do I personally think he killed her? Yes. Yes. Okay, let me be very clear. Do I personally think he killed her? Yes. My personal opinion doesn't mean anything. Have I personally thought from the gate? Yes. But I didn't come here and beat that drum, and I told you all I wasn't going to. Very early on, I was like, "I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about this because the conversation on social media is overwhelmingly outrage and what people think and what they feel instead of just, hey, we all know in 2025, at this point in time, we've seen too much happen in the realm of murder or homicide to not know that sometimes things take time and sometimes they take a long time. And it doesn't matter what anybody in their circle around them was posting. None of those things are, all of that is circumstantial. Even if they have somebody who tells them, example, he shot her, they're going to want to try to develop evidence to support that. So it takes time. So for me, this is like when I heard that there was a grand jury, I was like, okay, I really thought it was going to be closer to Thanksgiving, but maybe it was. I don't know. Who knows how many people they've pulled up? We know they pulled up at least one who is directly connected to him. It is his touring manager. I think it's reasonable to assume that this person was called to testify before the grand jury because their client is the focus of the grand jury. And pretty much since Thanksgiving, I've been checking every day, a couple times a day, for David News because I was expecting and something's gonna happen. Or expecting to have woken up to he was arrested, this morning in the early hours of whatever. This is another thing. Thinking he killed her, knowing he killed her, right? Like, the circumstances of her death mean a lot, and there are plenty of people who have gotten away with homicide because the only thing that could be proven was criminal disposal of a body, not homicide, not murder, not manslaughter, not involuntary manslaughter, not any of those things, not homicide. Just you didn't report it and you didn't ensure that the body was properly disposed of. There are plenty of people who have gotten away with homicide because they could not prove the means and manner of death. They could have a very strong belief and they could be right, but they don't have the evidence for it. So they better have some damn good evidence. We don't know. We don't know anything other than a grand jury has been convened and a witness is probably going to get arrested if the judge signs off on it for failing to show up or refusing to show up or both. Um, so we don't know anything. We don't know what the charges are that they've put before the grand jury. It could be a number of things, including, criminal disposal of a body. I'd cover every base. They better have some strong, strong evidence to justify manslaughter up. He's gonna spend every dime he has, and he ain't got a lot. He's new. He'll spend every dime he has fighting every other charge and trying to plead it down to something that doesn't mean anything. The majority of people who wind up in this situation are men. That is one of the ones that I was thinking of in my head. This is them coming together to try and get an indictment for something. They are presenting witnesses before the grand jury. Or at least they're trying to. Apparently, they've hit a snag with somebody who's like, "I don't wanna, and I'm not gonna." That would suggest that they are seeking an indictment of manslaughter or murder because they feel pretty confident that they could get the judge to agree to have that person arrested. It's not some misdemeanor. And as a matter of fact, inappropriate disposal of a body might be a misdemeanor. Just depends. Um, but the fact that they're willing to say, and this isn't anything they've said publicly, these were things that were TMZ's got folks planted in that courthouse. And anything they hear in the hall, uh, they report on. So, I mean, I guess a judge could say, "Yeah, you can go arrest somebody because you wanna indict somebody else on some misdemeanor charges." But all I'm saying is, in my layperson's opinion, their willingness to arrest a potential grand jury witness and force them to testify suggests that it's a serious crime that they're seeking an indictment for. Yeah, and remember, again, there's process, right? So the case begins with the law enforcement who is investigating the case. They have to develop enough evidence that they feel that when they forward it to the prosecutor, that the prosecutor is gonna say, "Yeah, there's enough here. Thank you. We're gonna charge him with this, that, or the other." Um, the last time I saw a public comment from the prosecutor was probably at least 3 weeks ago, I think, and, they said, "We don't have the case from law enforcement. They haven't sent it on to us yet." So, it's still actively being investigated. They're developing evidence. They have developed that evidence, they sent it to the district attorney's office. They went before the grand jury. So, somebody's being charged with something, and it's probably gonna be pretty damn serious. You ain't never lie. You ain't never lie. I remember, for whatever reason, there was something else that was going on at the time, when Michael Jackson died, and for whatever reason, I was on TMZ, on their website. I've never watched them on television, but I was on the website, and I saw them break the news, Michael Jackson has died, and I immediately picked up my phone, texted a group chat, personal group chat, and was like, "Michael Jackson died." And people were like, "What? Where do you see this? We don't see this anywhere." And I was like, "It's on TMZ." And the number of people who got angry at me, they were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? How could you cite TMZ?" And I was like, "I'm telling you, he's dead." And so when they reported Whitney Houston, I didn't even check. I just turned everything off and went into my room and sobbed. I was just like, if they said she's dead, she's dead. And I turned everything off, went into my room, sobbed. Yeah, there are some things that they don't miss on. They don't miss. And unfortunately, death is one of them. So, yeah, they be up in them California courts. And I am not surprised at all that they've just got people just there all day, just sitting in the hallway, just waiting for people to come out and see what they can hear, you know, while people are just chatting. Grand jury proceedings are secret, so you can't go into the courtroom and sit there and listen. You can't put your ear to the door, right? But if people come out and they're having conversation in the hallway, that's a public venue and it's fair game. It's good to see you, beautiful. I mean, there are just some things that they cannot get wrong, and death is one of the things that they can't get wrong, you know? They can screw up on other stuff, they can, come back with corrections or whatever it is that they do, um, but they can't screw up on, Prince is dead, Michael Jackson is dead, Whitney Houston is dead, you can't screw up on those. Robin Williams, Kobe. Yeah, I think they are despicable trash, but when it comes to death, they be right. So, I thought their behavior during the Diddy trial was absolutely pathetic. They're obviously working with his defense team. to make their little dumbass Tubi specials. They're not documentaries. We're not gonna give them that crown here. They're Tubi specials, okay? They were all shit. And they were full of either dumb people or biased people or Diddy's lawyers. That's all you needed to know that they weren't objective. And so for them to fix their faces to say they were documentaries, that's why Diddy having the motherfucking nerve to say anything about 50 Cent is not the sole reason, but it's another reason why I'm like, boy, if you don't shut up, if you don't shut up, we all seen your Tubi specials. We all seen your Tubi specials hosted by TMZ. That's basically what they were. They were biased as shit and completely favorable to you. I wonder if it got footage on that. I'd love to know. Any conversations about that? Since you wanted to get in bed with the slimiest of the slimiest and the dirtiest of the dirtiest. I just watched that and posted it in the Discord earlier. Yeah, I just watched that. It's hysterical. If y'all don't know, Josh Johnson has an hour on the Diddy docu-series as he sees it. As he sees it, yeah. There were some things that he said that, again, made me think like, I don't know, dog. I feel like at some point in time, we gonna get some more episodes of the docu-series. Oh, God. So, yeah. I don't care what that boy say. Marlon Wayans is a stupid person. He's smart at what he's good at, and otherwise, that boy needs to That's what you're supposed to do. Sweep them and then kick them while they down. That's what you're supposed to do. That's the easiest way to kick people is when they are down. Oh, God. Oh, baby, we done already talked about him. But exactly right. You're smart at what you're good at, but otherwise, zip it, buddy. Zip it. It's like a sequence of events to cause maximum damage. Trip them. Get a little elbow in there, push them down if you got to, give them all the help to the ground that they need. And then, yeah. Yeah, one good one. This is true. This is true. You gotta keep your defenses up. Don't take the ground them being on the ground as you necessarily having the full advantage. Yes, that's absolutely right. It's tattooed on my brain. Sweep the leg. Oh, oh God. I'm saying I'm petite like. After certain inches, I'm gonna need to bring you down. I'm gonna need to bring you down a peg. Oh, Cassandra Johnson. He kicked Cassie while she was down. Turnabout is fair play. Let me tell you something, bitch. And bitch is a term of endearment, okay? I love you because I am a believer in turnabout is fair play. High five. I'm bulletproof. Mhm. 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 Yeah. 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 Yep. And that's why you gotta be careful, it's a both and. It's a both and I'm okay with that. Because I know that. I recognize it and I accept it. Yes, I do. Just checking something real quick. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I mean, I know that the docuseries is devastating to Diddy, but listening to Josh Johnson talk about it for an hour, I was just like, "God damn." Well, when you put it like that, Josh, it sounds really bad. It sounds really bad. It's good to see you too, beautiful. So, yeah, enjoy that at some point in time. 'Cause, yeah, it's a good one. It's another marker in history, and the numbers are when I clicked onto it, it had been up for 18 hours, and it had 779,000 views. So, it's doing numbers. He's got a good perspective. He's got a good perspective. Yeah, it was a moment. It was like when he did Drake v. Kendrick, and when he did, um, Diddy getting arrested. Like, Josh has had some banger fucking sets this year. He's had some banger sets because he's hit every social, cultural moment, from Luigi to this. Yeah, exceptional body of work. Pretty sure his Luigi one is nominated for an Emmy. I'm pretty sure. It's nominated for something as a first time, like, well, that's never happened before kind of nomination, which is awesome. The person who is going to be arrested is a grand jury witness who has refused to appear lawfully in response to a subpoena. I'm assuming that you're talking about this. So, as of right now, as I'm having this conversation with you, there has not been an arrest for her death. There hasn't been an arrest, period. But what has been reported today, excuse me, is that one of the witnesses who was served a subpoena to testify before the grand jury has refused to do so. And the prosecution is inclined to seek their incarceration and presentation before the grand jury. So that's what we know. We don't know what the charges are that the grand jury is considering. We don't know anything. We don't know who the prospective defendants are. We know that there's a grand jury convened in the matter of her death. Could be him, could be somebody else, could be him and somebody else. That's it. I've watched it more than once. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a very stressful situation, and a lot of these people in in the orbit of this man strike me as biscuit heads. So I feel like there's a lack of maturity, experience, and judgment on the part of the people in his orbit. So I would attribute this to all of those things. I agree with your comment completely. Yeah. Yeah. This is facts as well. There's a whole lot of immaturity outside his orbit too, child. The way people just choose to be dumb. That's a classic characteristic of an immature person. And it's a cop out. I just can't stand it. It's such a cop out. It drives me crazy. Because you have to play dumb in order to be able to sensationalize these things. As I said at the very beginning, the why hasn't an arrest happened up until this point is very easy. Very easy. You can figure that out on your own. You know enough, you've seen enough. This is not your first experience as a very very distant viewer of a criminal situation. What'd you observe from that one? Apply it to this one. These things are not complicated. And I'm not about to just let people off the hook. It goes into that age of stupid and willful disregard for fucking facts. They gotta trump it up into the, "Well, maybe he's paid off the police. We don't know. Maybe he's" shut the hell up and pull yourself the whole fuck together. You're talking about somebody else's life, and you would be enraged. Enraged to the point of not being able to function if this were happening to your loved one and people were doing all of this. You would be enraged to the point of not being able to function. Yeah, that's why I said I'm not about to let people off the hook. I'm not about to do that. And that's why I tell people, like, stretch your muscles of rationale, baby. Exercise those a little bit further. Exercise those a little bit further, because our opinions don't matter. What we believe don't matter. What can be proven. That's what matters in these kinds of situations. And we don't know what they think can be proven, but I have a feeling, especially since it would appear that it's starting to go off the rails, that this could be resolved with an arrest by the end of the week. Because you don't want a grand jury proceeding being reported in the news while it's happening. You don't want that. It creates stress on the situation, stress on the people involved in or around the situation. It would not surprise me in the least bit if there's some witness tampering that's going on in this situation. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying it was one of the first things I thought about when I heard witnesses refusing to come in. I said, "Oh, That could be any number of reasons, just their own fruition. I'm not a snitch, whatever, my code, blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna do that. Or there could be other untoward things happening as well. So I don't know. Some of these witnesses are represented by the same attorney. So that's convenient. But they can't have their attorney with them when they're in the grand jury. So I have no doubt. I feel like now that this report has come out, that especially if the judge says, yes, you can arrest this witness and force them to come before the grand jury. The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. This isn't entertainment. It's real life, unfortunately. This is the tiredest shit ever. And it's mostly I'm gonna say actually it's entirely misogynistic. Because they never say that about women. Why did Remy Ma go to jail? For what Remy Ma did. Point. That's the narrative, beginning, middle, end. There's no fucking conspiracy. There's no da da. No. It's just she did what she did and then she went to prison. A man? No. It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. I put it back on them. People ask me questions. Well, why haven't they been arrested yet? Well, why do you think? That is the easiest question to answer. You gonna pawn it off on me and make me do the work to come up with an answer so then you can debate me about it like I have any fucking control over it. No, you answer the question. Well, why haven't they arrested him? Well, what do they need to arrest somebody? Evidence. Everybody knows that. High schoolers know that. Everybody knows that. I'm not going to answer the question for you because you're not that stupid that you don't know that that's the answer to the question. The but this, but that comes after. But the answer to the question is very simple and you already know what it is. I just shrug. You know what? I'll shrug. I'll just shrug. Mm-mm. If you don't know, I don't know. How about that? Mm. Why you ask me for? I don't know. You don't know. I don't know. People just want the drama, not because again, early on, right when this first happened, we had a couple lives about it. I posted a couple things about it on TikTok, and people wanted to argue with me. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not okay. Matter of fact, I'm done on the David front. I'm not having this conversation every 5 minutes. I'm not doing it. I can see the route that everybody has chosen to take because they've decided that this is entertainment. They don't give a shit about facts. So you're being willfully stupid, but you're not this dumb. And you're not gonna put it back on me to factually answer your question with they don't have enough evidence to arrest him. That's just a fucking fact. And then you wanna debate me about it. Well, this happened and somebody posted this, and again, I was like, "I'm not doing this every 5 minutes." So I'm just gonna stop talking about it until it gets to a docket. And I think that we're getting closer to getting to a docket. So, we're talking about it, you know? We're talking about it. Baby, the number of times during a day that I wanna tell a mofo that Google is free. You want some titties? Google 'em. Stop asking me. Shit, I don't know. Oh gosh. I went through a whole phase. I went through a whole phase of using the "let me Google that for you" link. I went through a whole phase, probably a solid 9 months, and then I just got tired of it. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair for you to feel that way. Um, yeah, because that's not what it's not about the or the victims. It's about the crime and the perpetrators. That's what it's about. I think for me, probably because I really do think it's a generational thing because I was exposed to documentaries before that was a popular thing. When there was like 2 documentaries a year in the world, and only one of them, was in the theater, that kind of a situation. That documentaries actually did teach me empathy because it taught me about circumstances of suffering around the world circumstantially that I was not aware of. And I think that it has hugely contributed to my worldview. Um, Also because I don't look at crime in a vacuum, you know? Because in a sense, we've always had true crime. A documentary about the Holocaust is true crime. A documentary about a genocide in Rwanda is true crime. but it's very different than the popular true crime we experience today. But it has all of the components. Those things are crimes against people, and people die. And so they may have perpetrators in those documentaries, they have victims. They show evidence. They will show a criminal process. They will show retrospectives of years later of survivors. So I think for me, I can only speak for myself. Um, there are very few documentaries that I watch where I don't know that I am experiencing empathy towards the people in the documentary. But I can only speak for myself. The more sensationalized it is presented, the more problematic it is. Because then it's like, it is literally just it's entertainment over information. And I want information over entertainment. So that's what I look for in a documentary, whatever the topic is. I want information over entertainment. But I'm the exception in society. I'm part of the exception and not the rule. And then there's this, right? That's why I want information more than I just want somebody stringing together a narrative. This is why I'm always leery of people who produce their own documentaries about themselves. I understand wanting control. I do. And I feel like you should have a right to control over your life, but I have a right as a viewer to be aware that there were biases in place when it was put together, right? So, yeah, when the Michael Jackson biopic comes, why I told y'all, I was like, "Imma accept it for what it is." I do not expect that it's gonna get into this, that, or the other, or da 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 da, because this was done in conjunction with the estate, and that's fine. That's fine. It's a biopic. It is creative, and they're gonna use a lot of, creative license to tell the story that they want to tell. It's a drama, not a factual accounting. I can't stand it. There are people who, like, do their makeup and talk about murder. That's their shtick. They do their makeup and they talk about the latest thing that they wanna sensationalize, and I find that completely repulsive. Completely repulsive. I would be absolutely mortified if I wound up you know how these days a documentary about true crime will have at some point like a montage of clips of people from, TikTok and Instagram and all of that stuff, and I'm like, I never want to be in one of those. I never want to find out that I'm in one of those montages of one of those people talking stupid shit. If anything, I should be in studio sitting down in a chair being interviewed. I should not be a part of the montage. If I'm a part of the montage, they either greatly misinterpreted what I said or baby, I careened off the rails at some point in time. And I need to correct my actions because the montage of social media people, it's never good. They're all stupid. They're all way off base. They're all asking rhetorical questions. They don't know the facts of the situation. It is and then they all have their shtick, right? It's so annoying. I just can't stand it. And coincidentally, I just saw everybody, everybody. I just saw a woman, and I purposely didn't search her to figure out what she was talking about. But I just saw a woman on social media who said something to the effect of, and this was my first and only impression of her. And based on what she said, I was like, I'm not going to look her up. She came up on my FYP and said something like, I can always tell when a content creator has made a video about the murder of my mother because I start getting crazy notifications. And that was it. And then her video was over. And I remember looking at her name, and I can't remember what it is now, but I remember looking down at her name and going, I'm not going to look her up to find out who her mother is and what she's talking about. Because I don't know what she's talking about. But she's obviously talking about something that's been in the public eye, and people, have made video after video after video after video after video about it. I was like, I'm not even going to look it up. I received that message for what it was. And I've said from the gate that I'm sensitive to how people cast people who have died, because I've experienced that with somebody very close to me, and the media doing him wrong. And it is a direct reason as to why I sit before you today, the woman that I am. It's one of the direct reasons. Had a profoundly devastating impact on me and totally changed. I mean, it was something that I had never even thought of before, first of all, that, you could die and the media could write something just completely void of fact, and then that's what's in print about your life forever. Absolutely horrifying. Horrifying. And this was in the early 90s. I couldn't even imagine it today. That's how I felt. That is exactly how I felt. I was like, I take that message and I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna look it up because I don't need to know, and it's none of my business. I don't need to know, and it's none of my business. So that is another, just a reminder of empathy, because I'm sure there were people who y'all know, the exposure bucks people. They're keeping your mother's memory alive, and like, I don't know if the case was solved, unsolved. I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing because I purposely didn't look her up. But I'm certain that there are people out there who are just like, you're ungrateful. People are trying to bring exposure to and let people know about your. Shut up. Shut up. Aw, you're welcome. Yeah, because, the reality is those people don't hold the memories of my family member. They didn't know him. They hold no memory. There's no shared memory. Even if my loved one was famous, there's still a line of what is public and what is private. Hi, TQ. Good to see you. So, yeah, that's always been my take on it. And I still don't, well, if anybody is arrested in this, Celeste situation. Of course, we'll talk about it, but I don't know that I'm gonna necessarily, I don't know what the extent of my focus on any actual case will or won't be. We'll just have to see. This means they had an incident. Rains of April. Completely random. But why Taco Bell delivered my food like a package from UPS, y'all? At least it's secured and not tampered with. Hallelujah. That means they had an incident. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And they've resolved that incident by duct taping future orders. Oh gosh. Wow. So what else is going on, y'all? Not much going on here. I hear DJ Academics is all up in his feelings and he's threatening to sue people. I wish you would. Please do. Please sue people over them talking about you, potentially paying somebody off. Please do sue them. Thank you. That would be a public service. That would be probably the most beneficial thing you could do for society as a whole. Yeah, please sue him. Big Backademics back to bitch boying. Wow. Uh, these are fantastic problems to have. Congratulations to you. Interesting. I'm sure it'll come across my FYP at some point in time. Well, of course he is. He had a nice little break from the tour. Now he back on the road, knocking the last leg out. That boy been on tour forever. Good God. This has to be his longest tour. I mean, it doesn't, but it feels like it. That boy been going since May. That's impressive. Actually, you're right. I saw him in May. I don't know when the tour started. I can't remember. I saw him in May. But yeah, it's been damn near the whole year. Started in late March. Okay. Oh, that's disgusting. And no, I didn't see that because I, try not to see those things. Hi, Maynard Spaceship. It's good to see you. It is a lot. Marshall Irons says, I honestly don't even know which way is up these days. There's just one bizarre thing after another, especially regarding the tiny tangerine, that I just can't process it all. It's a lot. It's a lot. We're not, the problem is that on the normal Earth timeline, which we agree we have departed from at some point in time, right? But in the normal Earth timeline, this is the time of year where we start talking about circling back after the next year, right? After the first of the year. And things start to lighten on all fronts. Politically, things start to lighten. Like the biggest focus is football, the holiday movie in theaters, like, but we are getting none of that this season. It is just there will be no reprieve from the waterboarding that we are experiencing. Yes, I agree. And you add one thing to it and the whole house of cards crumbles. Like I've been exhausted the past week. I've been exhausted. Excuse me. Dealing with my own, you know, home being sold out from under me. That's not a good feeling. That's stressful. Having to deal with litigation around that every day, every day, and then work, and then, you know, everything else. It's a lot. It's a lot. It is. Yeah. Rock Nation. Nikki did lose her house. Judge signed off. Oh my God, this is terrible. I'm so sorry. My deepest condolences. Ah, I'm so sorry. That sucks. I lost my soul kitty a couple of years ago, and I'll never get over it, is what I've learned. I'll never get over it. And it wasn't, like instant. She was, very old. Um, so it was just, being old. Um, we had somebody come to the house and, made sure she had a quality end of life. But because I knew that that was going to happen, I then realized, like, I always knew that I loved the cat, and I knew that she loved me, okay? Um, and we got her right after my son passed away. Um, but that in between point of, like, knowing, yeah, the end is coming, and then the end actually being there was the realization of how much I loved her, and the realization that it's gonna cause its own permanent devastation. I was I was a little upset about that. I was a little upset about that. Um, I was just like, "Oh, this isn't gonna go away. This is never gonna go away. I'm gonna carry this forever, missing her." So my condolences to you or anybody else who's lost a fur baby. It sucks. Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's rough. I always say that I'm not I always say that Princey is the last cat. We'll see if that takes. I always say that Princey is the last cat, and after that, if I get an animal, I will get a dog. But then I've got Oscar. Um, but what I really want to be able to accomplish with my next pet is a lot of adventure. Princey doesn't even like to go. He's hella skittish about going down to the end of the block in his little stroller that the chat got him, which really crushes my soul because I really want him to be an adventure kitty, but he's just not. We can hit the block a couple times and then he's like, "You either take me home or I will meet you there." um But yeah, also just like, ah, man, I'm tired of devastation that I'm gonna carry with me for the rest of my life. God. And I'm definitely not one of those people who's like, "It's just a pet." I'm not one of those people. I am not one of those people. I loved her, I knew that I loved her, and I knew that I would miss her. I just did not realize that it was going to be a devastation, and it was. It is. I think so too. I think Oscar would definitely be down for it. He's so chill and so, like, but I also don't want Princey, to feel, like, left out because he's emotional. That's why, he is an emotional eater. He's always been emotional. I don't know what happened before we got him, but he was traumatized, and we've done our level best, you know? Um, but he's still very reactive and very emotionally reactive. I think he may have been deprived oxygen when he was born at some point in time because it just doesn't seem to be something that's gonna even out. It's been, like, 13 years, so I can say that with pretty solid confidence. But we love him. We love him. But yeah, Miss Kitty was my number 1. She really was. She was my number 1. Just the sweetest, most gorgeous, beautiful, and she was a orange tabby. Rare little princess. I used to sing the "Here She Comes Miss America" every time she walked in the room. Yeah. Yeah, that was my girl. Them damn pets, boy. They get you. They really get you. Let's see what else is going on. Diddy ain't sued nobody yet over that documentary. I will tell you a funny story. I'm not going to cover this case on here because I don't want to attract the attention of the person who filed it because they're a little. So if you were in the Discord, don't say anything beyond what I say here because I'm very specifically not going to say everything here. Okay. Again, because I don't want to attract the fixation of a violent, crazy person. Um, Somebody filed a lawsuit against Satan, and I got a docket alert for it because somewhere in the document, Diddy's name exists. And I have my alert set up just for a general catch-all whenever his name comes up to notify me. So somebody is suing Satan. He's suing actual people too, but Satan is number 1 on the docket. And when it first came, uh, and I saw it, you know, the name of the person is so distinct. It's not anybody you know. It's not like it's a famous person. It is you do not know this person. It's a rando, okay? But let's say that their name is Pluto, okay? That their last name is Pluto because a case name is the names of the parties, right? Who is suing who. So when I open my email for after receiving an alert for Sean Combs, the first thing that I see is Pluto v. Satan. And I was like, obviously, that's not what it actually looks like. Obviously, that's not what it looks like, right? But I was busy and I was like, I'm gonna have to come back to this and, figure out what this is. And then I forgot about it. And then I got another docket alert, Pluto v Satan. And I was like, oh, right. Let me click on this and figure out what it is. And the whole time I'm thinking, Satan just has to be a spelling thing, right? Maybe it's missing an accent over an A or something. Maybe it's Satan or, you know what I mean? I'm like, it's obviously not Satan, Satan. Oh my god, it's definitely Satan, Satan, okay? I I pulled up the complaint and off rip when you look at the page because this person decided to add colorful things to it. It's very clear. It's like, "Oh, this is a lawsuit against Satan." Got it. It's a lawsuit against Satan. Uh Again, Diddy's name is just in the document somewhere, okay? This document is completely nonsensical. I could, but I couldn't explain it to you if I fucking tried. It makes no legal sense whatso goddamn ever. Um, but another person who's being sued is Donald, right? But Satan comes first, then Donald's name, and then a bunch of other people. And when you get into the section of the lawsuit for, like venue, why you're filing the lawsuit, where you're filing it, the parties, right? Who are you, Mr. Pluto, the person filing this lawsuit? And who are the parties that you are, suing? So he explains, number one, off rip, I'm suing Satan. Satan is a blah, 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 blah spirit of blah, 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 blah. And then, Donald Trump and da 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 da. And he says that and requests an issuance of a summons for Satan. Yes, he knows where to serve Satan. Do you know where Satan can be served? Anybody got guesses? Anybody who was not in the Discord got a guess on where this Mr. Pluto told the court Satan could be served in this lawsuit? Anybody? Anybody got a guess? It's here on Earth in the United States of America. Ding 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 ding. The White House. Hilarious. Hilarious. Good to see you. Too funny. Too fucking funny. I'm pretty sure the song goes The Devil Went Down to Georgia or something. But anyway, no, this man put in a court document. You can find that motherfucker at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C., where he is having untoward influence over the president and all of his minions. And you might be tempted to think, oh, this person filed this lawsuit as a parody to something happening with South Park. No, no, nah. We did our due diligence in the Discord. This person is they're very serious in their mind. Very serious. And it ain't got shit to do with South Park. They're very serious. Mr. Pluto is very serious. So he's got causes of action in there. SNAP benefits, he's upset about that. The Supreme Court is corrupt. What was another one? I can't remember. He's filed a complaint with the International Criminal Court. He attached a copy of that. So he wants the entire Supreme Court debenched. So, and he has a violent history. So that's why I'm not getting into the like specifics of who he actually is. Again, a nobody that we know who he actually is. You'll never see a caption. This will not be. You thought Nicole Key was, nah, baby, nah, 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 nah. She was just narcissistic. Mr. Pluto has got other issues. And we don't want to exacerbate them here. Nevertheless, that shit was hilarious. When I opened up that email and I saw Pluto v. Satan, I was like, there's a reasonable explanation. There must be a reasonable explanation for this. Oh, God. Oh, gosh. That would have been great. Motion to journey to find the 7 Horcruxes would have been fucking fantastic. Yeah, it is definitely one of those things where it's like, it is definitely hee hee ha ha, but we are doing that from the safety of the Discord because, again, this is somebody who does have a violent criminal history and is clearly unwell, and look at me. I'm not trying to attract that kind of attention, okay? I'm not trying to exacerbate anybody's issues, but Pluto v. Satan is fucking hilarious. You can find him at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Oh, it sent me so goddamn hard. It sent me so goddamn hard. So that's what I'll share about that little moment throughout the week of what in the hell is going on over here. That's what the hell be going on over there. Mm, mm, mm. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Everybody send Kiki happy birthday wishes. Happy birthday, beautiful. It seemed appropriate. It seemed appropriate. There you go. Did you do anything or get yourself anything? I don't know, but that's funny. Well, hey, you know what? A win is a win. This is the definition of a win is a win. Kiki said, no, it's cold as fuck. And it's Wednesday. My wall furnace got fixed, though. A win is a win. A win is a win. You know, my rule is it's your birthday until you do the thing or get the thing that you want. So a wall furnace is a good start, though, because damn. The weather up here is absolutely horseshit. All of our rivers are going to crest and flood. Trees are going to start falling on people. I got that notification. That's never fun. I got a notification on an app that I didn't know I could get a notification on. Where I was like, what the hell is this? Oh, this is your Puget Sound energy letting you know. Trees are going to start falling over. Yeah, no shit. Jesus Christ. It's really windy. I know. Very rainy. Yeah. Don't drive through standing water. No shit. This is a package, no doubt. Yep. So yeah, it's not good up here. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Hell no. Mm-mm. It gets like that downstairs for me, where I had my desk over the summer because then it makes sense to be down there because it's the coolest point. It jumps like 15 degrees between the first and the second, and you go up one more and forget about it. Forget about it. I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts. No AC? No. I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts. So yeah, it's freezing fucking cold down there right now, but that's not my business. That's down there. I go down there to cook. I'm warm, and then I beat it back up. I stay right here. I stay in the middle rooms. Maddie Warhol. I love the Pacific Northwest. Never been, but it always looks and sounds like some spooky, paranormal, supernatural shit always happening, and I want to see it. I mean, I guess I've definitely lived in a place where we weren't the only people that lived there, but I'm pretty sure I know who it was. I'm trying to think if I've had any PNW paranormal experiences that are noteworthy, like outside of my own little self-drawn woo-woo circle. Nothing is coming to mind right now. Nothing is coming to mind right now. Good. Good for you. My aunt would take the whole year. She got to a certain age where she'd be like, "I'll take the whole year." And when I'm satisfied that I've celebrated, then, we're good to move on. I'm like, "Hey, live your life." That's hilarious. Evangeline Fuller says, "Although I chose not to watch for personal reasons, from what the reviewers say, 50 is not finished." I said it too. I said it off rip. I mean, because first of all, case in point, the reporting at the time that this was being developed and before it was sold to Netflix was that it was like an 8-part docuseries. We saw 4 episodes. So, make sure there's not a package thief pulling up to my door. Um, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we get more. Yeah, I've definitely dealt with strange, unexplainable things that have happened to me. What in the hell is going on? But I can't say that I've seen the Sasquatch or a vampire glittering in the moonlight or anything like that. That's never happened. No. So 2 things before we go. Number 1, I talked about homegirl over here, the drinker, having an affair. These people are swingers. They have a gathering at least once a month. Like, they host. They were not discreet this past weekend. There's a lot of windows. A lot of windows. Here and there. And my stairwell faces the side of their townhouse. And I've got nothing but big ass windows all the way up and down. All the way up and down. I can see you. You can see me, okay? And I saw some things. I saw some things, boy, I saw some things. And then they realized, because I didn't linger, right? I didn't linger. My eye was drawn to something moving. I looked, and then I kept it pushing. But then they realized that I was there. So that had a reaction. My point is, and I know Kiki might leave, and I'm so sorry. My point is, I feel a little harmed by the single thought that I had in my mind. Okay, when I saw what I saw. And that single thought was, I cannot remember the last time I saw a white penis. It's been how many days since says it will mark it back down to 0, start the timer over again. It's now been 4 days. Prior to that, but now it's been 4 days. Nope. Inside. He was over there. He's one of the regulars that shows up to the gatherings. Like, I knew they had gatherings because the thing that makes their unit grab your eye is that the lighting in every room is a different color. And the windows are massive. So at night, and they change the colors depending on whatever woo-woo shit she's going through over there. So it'll grab your attention if all of a sudden a black shadow, moves in front of an otherwise big red space or blue space, right? Because again, the windows are very big. They're like oversized windows. So they've been here long enough that I had picked up on initially that, oh, they have a gathering at least once a month. And then it looks to be the same few people that are coming to this. And then some people stay while others go home. Right. And then I started to put together like, okay, I think they might be swingers. And then it was confirmed. 4 days ago. Did I mention 4 days? It's been 4 days. It's been 4 days. It's been 4 days. And I hope he's not mortified by the realization. I don't know what he was thinking. First of all, let me just say that. I don't know what this man was thinking other than, who's going to see me? Well, motherfucker, maybe. Maybe the person directly across from you with windows as big as yours. Maybe he thought because of the hour that I wasn't going to see him? I don't know. I don't know, but he looked cool and calm, as comfortable as a cucumber in that window. Frontal nudity. As I'm not going to describe what he was doing, okay? Because I don't want this to get banned. But yeah, yeah. It wasn't even anything that was even necessarily sexually explicit or vulgar, right? It's not like he was towards my house. That would be concerning. That would be concerning. That's not exactly what was happening. So it wasn't that, but it was a very intimate, naked moment. Uh, yeah, because I guess he just thought like, I don't know what, I don't know what he was thinking, but I know that he saw me. I don't know if he saw me see him, but I know that he saw me going up the stairs. It is. It is. Can't say I haven't pushed the line myself back in my heyday. Okay. No, I did not take it that way at all. I did not take it that way at all. Here's what I will say, okay? Because remember, I have cameras that point outward, okay? So I went and I looked at the camera because there's no way that at some point he didn't see me going up the stairs. He may not have seen me when I saw him, but there's no way that he did not see me at some point in time going up the stairs. And then at that point, my back is to him. So I went to the video to look at what I saw, and he did not want to be seen because I do see the moment where he sees me going up the stairs and then he's gone. He's gone. 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 So he did not anticipate the possibility of being seen or another person being there. Again, I don't I'm 99.9% sure that he did not see me see him because he was actually looking away from where I was. Nevertheless, as I'm moving up the stairs, you're probably going to see me. So, he did, and yeah. Yeah, everything, his body language in that moment, which was to disappear. I was like, I hope he didn't fall down the stairs. Yeah. You know what I am? I just don't like to give the biscuit heads anything to work with. Gone. Gone. Watch them finally get, because that's like one of the only windows that they don't have a covering for. Pretty much every, at least on my side, every, and on the front, every other window has a covering. But that one is particularly like uniquely sized. They probably would have to, it's not like a standard window size. So I don't know. I don't know. It's never been an issue before, right? Um, and it's not going to be an issue again because I'm not going to live here. So how about that? That's really weird. That's weird. That's a weird reality to adjust to. I ain't even gonna be here, dog, so it ain't even gonna be a problem. So and also, as you go up the stairs here, the first set of windows are blocked with large pieces of framed art, some photography that my kids took when they were little. That's really pretty. Um, so now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, yeah, he was not aware and probably thought because of the hour that nobody was gonna see him. I saw you, bro. I saw you, bro. But yeah, that was my one and only thought. When was the last time I've seen a white penis, like, in person? Imma say about 28 years. I would say about 28 years. Mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I do like dick, but that's not the dick I like. I did. I did. Paperwork signed. Paperwork being signed. Hopefully, I don't have to hoe myself. Get everything taken care of to move. No. Paperwork signed. That was a huge, huge exhale moment of like, yeah, that was just a huge, and then an immediate crash of tension as well. I think I signed that paperwork, got the signed copy back from them, and then I went to sleep for like 10 or 12 hours. And I'm a 5-hour sleeper. I've been storing a lot of stress and anxiety in my body for that and other things. And there were things that I remembered that I was supposed to do over the past couple weeks that I had completely forgotten about. Once that paperwork was signed, all of those things came back. I was like, "Oh, I was supposed to call such and such at a very specific time and day that we agree." Other things I was supposed to do that just completely left my brain. But yeah, that paperwork was signed. I got the signed official copy, and baby, I was out cold. Out cold. Nothing but stress and tension. No, he's not. Guilty is something that's decided by a jury. It hasn't been convened yet because there's no trial, and so there's no verdict. But yeah, I think he killed her. But there's a difference. Hi, beautiful. Welcome. It was so real. So real. Got some of the best damn sleep. Yeah, it's a relief. It's a relief. I still got to deal with all the other things. Um, but that seems to be clipping along quite expeditiously. My opposition. There are some things lost in cultural translation that they just have to come to grips with, that professionals are explaining to them. I think they may consider it a mark of cultural shame to be sued by and owe damages to, and that's their process. I don't give a shit. Okay? I don't give a shit. So, they've got a couple days to, you know, get with reality that, yes, this actually can happen to them. Such an action can be taken by somebody like me. They're not from this country. So that's been interesting. That was unexpected. That was unexpected. I mean, I always assume most people are a little bit racist, but boy, your cultural biases really come into play when things become adversarial. So, oh, very interesting because they're not. Yeah. So I'm like, well, that's their process. And like I said, there's enough professionals to get them to figure it out. And then it's just me being consistent. They can either get with it or they gonna get sued. It's that simple. I'm like, mediation is your out. And if they resist, that's fine with me. This is already done in my mind. So I'm committed to not affording them any more energy. Now, will I put in work? Oh, yeah, I'll put in work. But energy? Mm-mm. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You exhausted me. Absolutely exhausted me. And that's it. So, as I said, Seattle has, official divisions within the municipality of the government that investigate these things and make determinations. So I got my first determination yesterday that will help me in mediation or litigation. Um, that is in my favor 6 different ways. So I'm just like, yep, this is already done. This is already done. And my job is just to gather all the pieces and file the fucking paperwork. And then let the chips fall where they may. But this is already done. So they get no more energy. Here again is another alert from an app that I didn't know sent me alerts. The personal safety app where I have my address listed for calling 911 and stuff like that. This is the first time ever in the history of me having this phone that I've started getting weather warnings from them. This most current warning is basically if you go outside, you're going to drown. I know. I'm not going. Yeah, except for like they own the block. Yeah. But yeah. Well, the nice thing is that the majority of this is statutory, and the city is happy to put that in writing. The city is happy to put it in writing. So, and make all the connections. Like, I literally got an email today that started with, "We've done an analysis of this aspect of your complaint, and it breaks down as follows." I was like, "Ah." and analysis, and they are the experts. So I'm just like, thank you. May I have another? It's going to take them a little while to get through all of the points of all of the things because now I'm obviously going for the jugular. You did some illegal shit to me, harmed me and my family, put me through untold necessary stress, and I'm accruing thousands of dollars in damages, even with assistance. So, yeah, obviously now I'm gonna go for the leg sweep. Politely, respectfully, but I'm going for the leg sweep because you got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. And let you learn a lesson so that you never do this to somebody else again. It's ridiculous. So far so good. And that's all we can ask for. Is so far so good. You know? Like I said, I'm gonna keep working it, but I'm not gonna give him any energy because I love me and I deserve better than that. Yeah. I'm gonna treat myself to all the good juju and just focus on, moving forward. That's what I'm focused on is moving forward. I appreciate everybody's support. For the people that the last live that we had where I gave you the updates on the things, some of you cash apped me or Venmoed me, and that empowered Christmas for my nieces and nephews that I had made that commitment to. Because that was weighing very heavily on my heart, as I shared with you all at the time. That really did not make me feel good about this entire situation. I felt horrible. And to see the look on my sister's face when I was like, because she told them that there would not be any presents after I told her I've got to deal with this emergency. She told them. But as Christmas is getting closer and they're seeing things happen at school or with their friends, they're like, oh, we want to put the tree up. We want to da 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 da. And so that's devastating to do all that, but then there's nothing under the tree. I told my sister, I'm like, "You're gonna have to tell him Auntie got the line to Santa, okay? And I needed to check with Santa to make sure that he knew that y'all moved, because moving states is a big deal. Don't know if you checked in with Santa to let Santa's helpers know that you moved. We made sure that Santa knows that Apsa's nieces and nephews have moved, and Santa will deliver all of the things. He will have cookies set out, and Santa will be delivering the things. So thank you for that because that just I can't tell you how m better that makes me feel. Hugely better. Hugely, hugely, hugely better. That genuinely hurt my heart to have to tell my sister that after I said months ago that I was gonna be the one to do it. So, thank you. Thank you, because they're beautiful, wonderful, brilliant little babies, and everybody deserves something. Everybody deserves something. So I appreciate you. I really do. Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause I, did my other shopping. I'm not a late shopper. If I see something, I don't care if it's December 31st. That's gonna go in your box of things for Christmas next year. Right? Um, that's how I was able to afford Christmas as a young parent, often on public assistance with no child support, was to really break it up throughout the year. So by the time I got to Christmas, everybody had a decent, respectable, non-brand name haul, basically. So just the habit of getting it when I see it is already ingrained in me. So other stuff was already taken care of. With them, I was waiting because I was actually gonna start like that Thanksgiving weekend, and this happened right before Thanksgiving. But I was waiting because, they're tiny, they're growing, et cetera, et cetera. So like I wanted to get real close on sizes in case there were any spurts, et cetera, et cetera. But it's all Gucci now. It's all Gucci now. They're taken care of and my heart feels better. So thank you for relieving that heartache. Thank you. Man, is it ever? Is it ever? So I'm going to go. I've got this boy down here acting like he's starving for dinner. He's not starving for dinner. And I've got packages that I'm burning out a camera to keep an eye on so I don't have to go running out there with Betty like a crazy woman. But I will. But I will. But I wanted to just pop in and mostly see you all more than talk about this, nevertheless, still timely. And I do think, given the given whatever's happening at the grand jury level, it's probably going to conclude pretty quickly here. But also just wanted to see you, say hi, be seen, let you know I'm good. I'm thinking about you. I'm over here handling business, doing the best I can do, Tom. Doing the best I can do. So I hope to see you again this week. As I always say, I think I probably will. Things have gotten considerably less stressful. um, and like I said, my brain can actually now has the bandwidth to start focusing on other things again, which is always good. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll see you again this week for something or other. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful night, day, afternoon, wherever you are. Have a great day tomorrow. If I don't see you, do something good for yourself. Do something that makes you feel good, because that's all we can do. That's all we can do. I don't care if it's a hot shower. I don't care if it's a hot shower and a guilty pleasure movie or TV show. Balance out your scale. That's the power that we have. Y'all are a treasure, and I appreciate you. And I will see you again very soon. Peace.